just can't keep staying.
We've outplayed it though.
Well, not necessarily everything has to die in it, but definitely change. And not necessarily is it always in a change that you want, but a change that's necessary to get to where you want to be. When you're in a recession, you have less of something, but at the same time you have more of something. Time being one. You can't buy time. When you're unemployed, you have time. The time that you always wanted to take the time to do this or to take the time to do that. But because you're trying to hit that 8 to 5, you never do those things, such as I was hearing someone say, I now have more time to write, more time now to think of that new business idea, more time now to touch on that creation that you always picked up and put down, picked up and put down. And so it's now the time that you think is forced on you, but actually it's a gift now. That recession is now a renaissance at the same time, because now I have to think about it. Now I have the time to think about it.
Time is definitely a big gift, but besides time, especially time by yourself, can be an actual detriment. I know a lot of times I spend too much time alone and I just start getting too clever for myself. And I know some of the people that were up here talking to us before, a lot of what they were having problems with is like one of the people having their job lost, and then just that extra time and not being able to necessarily do something productive with it, idle hands kind of thing.
But sometimes it looks like you're idle. When you're thinking, you need time to think. It looks like you're idling. But when you have to do something for somebody else, such as raise kids or have to be holding to a partner, you don't take that time that you need where you need to be left absolutely alone. Now, I don't say it's detrimental, but you do need the time, and you do not need different interferences. Mommy, daddy, come to work, be on time, all of that. And that takes away from what you need is, I need to now think about what my next move should be, or what it could be, or what will I make it be?
Well, how are we supposed to know what the next move is? Especially in relationships, I know a lot of times...
Because you have to be still.
Oh.
You have to be still. When you have to get to work, you can't be still. You have to either get in the car, take the freeway, take the train, take the bus, etc. And you don't have time to be still. When you're unemployed, you can be still.
Yeah, and even when unemployed, I mean, I know a lot of times in a relationship we spend time just being so distracted and being busy with activity, whether it's like trying to go somewhere or watching TV or this or that. I mean, really stopping and spending time with a person, that's not necessarily that common.
That's what I mean about being still. That's what I mean about getting time. Time you can never buy, but now all of a sudden you got it. You think it's been forced on you and think it's a bad thing because you're not getting that dollar. And then you're forced to look at what's around you, who's around you, who really is your friend now that you don't have that dollar. You know what I'm talking about. Who is the core? Who is the core of you?
So
who is the core of your relationship?
So in the last year, I know you've learned a lot in this area. So what's been the big area that you've come to?
I've come to me.
Me what?
I've come to me. I've come to me to know that I have the time to sit and think about me. I have less money, but I have more time. And I'm finding out, look at where I am right now. If I didn't have the time, I wouldn't be able to know you as well as we know each other, as well as I'm getting to know everybody here and want to know. So, and the creativity that's coming out, I love it. I absolutely love it.
So it's kind of what you're saying a little bit, the relationship with yourself, which we kind of already know that you with you is more important than just about anything. Because if you're not happy with yourself,
who else can you make happy?
Whoever's with you certainly isn't going to do it.
No.
There ain't ever enough of them.
And then when you get the money, you're still the same unhappy individual. And then you go, oh, money really wasn't the problem.
So let's leave it with a couple tangible things maybe that we worked on ourselves. You're saying the relationship with yourself is definitive in how you feel about the other person. So if you're not happy in your relationship, the first place to look is what's going on with you and yourself, potentially.
Absolutely.
All right, so what's...
Before you start blaming the other one.
So something specific, anything specific that like people might relate to?
Don't be so mad if you're wanting to reach the goals and not the same way. I want to do something, you want to do something, and I not necessarily want to be the one you lean on because I want to reach some goals too. So we can understand that you're going to reach your goals the way you're going to reach your goals, and I'm going to reach my goals the way I'm going to reach mine.
Well, this is tough though because a lot of people don't have the same pace I do.
That's good.
Or they like to zig when I would say zag.
And that's good. Because we wouldn't have a zag without the zig.
My precious control.
Precious control. Now,
Controlling my emotions, controlling the relationship, controlling outcome.
who wants to control that? If anybody controlled that, nobody would fall in love.
Yeah, but control is what we're selling these days. I mean, you can control your own internal experience with all these drugs that we have available even. You don't have to feel bad if you don't want to. You don't have
But
to,
if you
don't
take
don't have
those
to do it all.
drugs, then that means you're not in control, and that's all right too sometimes.
And we're not talking about being anti-drug or anti-alter your mind or anti, for freaking sake,
That's true.
managing your chemical composition if
That's
that's not
true.
what it's supposed to be.
That's true.
But there's something about this day and age that it seems like I'm being called on to be more responsible about what I end up producing in a relationship. Like, it's not enough to say, hey, you know, people are a certain way, the women that I keep attracting, they have this or whatever. It's like, I gotta be responsible for the nature of my own, like, relationship.
Responsibility sometimes can be so boring.
But did you put the toilet seat down?
See what I'm saying? And really, is that really the problem? Because that means you could be just wanting to control someone. Because after the toilet seat, what else?
Now, what's the toilet seat represent? Is that like not respect for your way of life, or is it just like little things because there's not something bigger that...
I don't know, when you go in at night and the light's not on, and you go in,
Well, that's
it's not
one
on.
point of view. That's one point of view, and that's something that can be talked about. But that shouldn't be a major item because, as I said, it could be a control issue with the one who wants the toilet down.
If you fall in the toilet often enough, it's not a good
Now, this was a problem even back in prehistoric days when there was just a hole in the ground and a rock.
And nobody had a problem with it.
No, there was.
Well, no one...
Even back then, because we would take the leaf off the hole.
How do you know that?
Oh, I was there.
There was no hole. You're in the woods. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with, you know, whatever went, whatever flowed at the time it flowed, and however it flowed.
Well, how about going right back to where we were in the very beginning and leaving it where to get to the sense of you are valuable and who I am is precious and the time that I spend with myself means something. I'm not gonna throw my pearls before swine and just give you my time without any consideration for my own peace of mind, my own situation and what I need in it at every single moment. So if I'm not gonna do that, what is it that I need to do? I need to, like we were talking about earlier, know what I want, be able to communicate it so we can have
I'm going to
confidence.
take everything you said those last few seconds, and I'm going to say they're seeds. And once again, I want to say that you have to put them in the proper fertilized soil, turn the soil, do what's necessary, be a good farmer, be a good gardener, and watch your seeds grow.
Rock and relationships, everybody! What makes relationships rock?